You know, we hear about AI doing all sorts of incredible things, but today, we're going to see how it handles something that's supposed to be unpredictable, a professional soccer match. We're looking at the Colorado Rapids versus the Houston Dynamo, but really, the main event is data versus chaos. Let's get into it.
So an AI has a prediction for the game, but, that's kind of the easy part. The real question, and what we're going to unpack today, is how. How does a bunch of code and algorithms look at a soccer game and come up with one single confident answer?
Okay, so let's set the scene. We're at Dick's Sporting Goods Park in Colorado. It's the hometown Rapids taking on the Houston Dynamo. And yeah, on paper, it's just another league match, but as you're about to see, there are some serious wild cards in play for this one. And those wild cards, they don't start with data or computers. They start with real-world chaos. Because before an AI can crunch a single number, it has to deal with two of the most unpredictable things in any sport: the weather and, of course, injuries. And listen, the weather is a huge factor here. There's a 55% chance, that's better than a coin flip, of thunderstorms right over the stadium during the game. That's not just a little drizzle, that's a potential game wrecker. We're not just talking about a wet ball either. We're talking about wind gusts hitting 21 miles per hour. Imagine that. All of a sudden, a perfect corner kick is a total lottery. Set pieces are anyone's guess, and any ball in the air is pure chaos. This is the kind of weather that just tosses the playbook right out the window. And then there's the injury report, where the difference is just night and day. The Rapids, they're coming in at 100%, full strength. That's a massive advantage. But Houston, they're missing their goalkeeper, Andrew Tarbell, and losing your starting goalie, that is a critical blow that could really put their defense to the test. All right, so we've got the real-world stuff out of the way. Now for the main event. We're going to peek inside the AI's black box. But don't think of it as just one thing. It's more like a team of super specialized digital analysts, and each one has a totally different way of looking at the game. So our first analyst is what's called a Poisson regression model. Its job is pretty simple, but it's absolutely crucial. It looks at all the past data to figure out the most likely number of goals each team is going to score. This is like the baseline prediction for the final score. And here's what that first model came up with. It gives Colorado an expected goal count of about 1.48, and for Houston, it's 1.69. So right off the bat, our first digital expert is giving Houston a slight edge when it comes to finding the back of the net. But here's where things get interesting. If it was just this one model, we'd be done. Houston has the edge. But this is a team of analysts, remember? And the rest of the team, well, they're not quite on the same page. And it is a major split. On one side, you have these two heavyweights, models called Random Forest and XGBoost, and they both say Houston's going to win. But then on the other side, another really powerful model called LightGBM looks at the exact same information and says, nope, Colorado's taking this at home. Our digital analysts are basically in a heated argument.
Just when you thought it couldn't get any more confusing, right when it's basically a tie, they bring in the last member of the team to break it.
And what does it do? It refuses to pick a side. The neural network, which is designed to find really deep patterns, kind of like a human brain would, it lands right smack in the middle and predicts a draw. So, just to recap, we have predictions for a Houston win, a Colorado win, and a tie. It's a complete deadlock. So, now what? What happens when all your experts are screaming different answers? How do you get one single useful prediction out of all that noise? Well, you have to force them to reach a consensus. And here's how they do it. It's a two-step process. First, they create what's called an ensemble prediction. It's like they take all those different opinions we just saw, weigh them based on how good they usually are, and mash them all together into one super prediction. Then, they run a Monte Carlo simulation. This is the wild part. They basically play the game on a computer 10,000 times, using that combined data, just to see which outcome pops up most often. After all that debate, all that complexity, and after running 10,000 simulated games, a single clear signal finally cuts through the noise. The collective brain of the AI, after considering everything, says the edge goes to the Houston Dynamo. So what's the big takeaway here? We've just seen that AI isn't some magic crystal ball. It's actually a really complex, kind of messy process of weighing conflicting pieces of evidence to land on the most likely outcome. But there are a couple of really important things to keep in mind. Okay, and we have to be super clear about this part. Everything we've talked about today is for entertainment and informational purposes, that's it.
This is absolutely not betting advice. This is just a fascinating look at a process, not a guaranteed result. So please, always be responsible. And that leaves us with one final thing to chew on. As this kind of technology gets better and more common, and pretty soon every single game has a data-driven prediction, what does that mean for us as fans? Does it change how we watch, how we cheer? Does it take away some of the magic of the beautiful, unpredictable game? It's something to think about.